Recently, a whole bunch of my dry Copics needed some attention. As you can see, for some of them are looking pretty sad. So I ordered a bunch of various ink. Now this stuff isn't cheap, it's like $10 per refill. Now I could, if I were reasonable, just sort of refill them all and keep all the spare ink for future refills. Or before I refill them, I could use all of my various ink to create an artwork, because that seems like a really wise use of resources. This is probably going to be the most expensive video I've ever made. G'day ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Draw with Jazza. I'm Jazza and I have a problem. That problem is every time the question enters my mind, I wonder if you can make art with that, I have to answer it. And it's a problem because sometimes you end up spending a ridiculous amount of money on your Copic refills, and instead of refilling your Copic straight away, you think, I wonder if I can make art out of that. So today I'm going to attempt to answer that question, and I didn't know whether I should limit myself to only using the bottles or being able to perhaps use brushes. So I put the question to you guys on Twitter, and you are only letting me use the bottles. Great. Thank you. That's totally unexpected that you guys would have mercy on me. Oh god, this is a lot of various ink. This was really expensive. Which is why I am so grateful that this video is sponsored so that I'm not gonna have to take a second mortgage out of my house. Audible has sponsored this video. Those of you who are familiar with me and my channel and my vlog know that I can't live without Audible. This is my Audible library. I listen to books all the time. I'm currently in the midst of listening to the Lightbringer series by Brent Weeks. And as you can see, I have 3 hours and 10 minutes left, and the series is continuing, but there are only 4 books so far. So before I finish the artwork today, I'm gonna have finished one of my favorite fantasy series on a cliffhanger, waiting for the next book to come out. But that's okay, because as you can see, I have 3 credits left. Let me know your recommendations. I'm gonna put a bunch of my favorite books and recommendations in the description. Am I happy with the Audible app? Yes. I'm gonna rate your app, Audible. Oh wait, I already rated it. I wrote Audible is my cocaine. Look, if that's not enough of a plug, I don't know what is. Audible is my cocaine, and if you want to join me in my addiction, you can get your first free audiobook. Go to audible.com/Jazza, or you can text Jazza to 500 and get your first audiobook and a 30-day free trial to go check out your first audiobook today. I can't recommend Audible enough. Now, aside from needing to just use the bottles to apply my colors, there aren't many very vibrant or different colors like purples or greens. Really, the vibrant, rich colors I don't use as often as these tones that I often use to sort of overblend colors or saturate pieces or add highlights and stuff. I need to see how this is actually going to work, because I'm a little bit terrified. These are all unopened, as you can see, so I'm going to have to actually open up or peel all the plastic off of all these. And here is my collection. I can't imagine this is going to be easy or clean, which is why I bought this packet of gloves. If anyone has ever refilled a Copic marker with various ink, you'll know that that stuff gets everywhere. Oof, this looks sort of menacing. This definitely looks like something you put on when you're about to murder someone or rob a house. There's something about the black latex that's really disconcerting. Your cabinet was a wrong building. All right, let's have a look at how this goes. So as you can see, you take off the lid and you get a little droppy thing happening. There you go. That's a drop of very high saturation stuff. Now I'm gonna need to use my fingers in the course of creating this piece. Now can I, oof, see, look at that, it just sort of spills. This is gonna be really hard to control. Can I like draw? If I'm careful enough, I can sort of create lines. Let's get the black, and I'm just gonna like be as delicate as I possibly can. This is definitely not gonna be effective. This is like the thinnest or best I can do lines, because they come out in a burst and then thin out very quick. It's always gonna look like a little sperm. The colors look great, obviously, because it's as saturated as the color's gonna get, but how it's applied is a whole different thing. I mean, I guess I could, in theory, just use my fingers. That's what so I guess it's a good thing that I have a lot of really light desaturated colors, because that may enable me to fill areas without overdoing it. Some of these are very light. We have like a number 1 warm gray, brick white, barium yellow, all these really light filler and blending colors. They're actually probably going to show up quite strong on the paper with this art challenge. See, look at that. That's the barium yellow. This is like the lightest yellow I ever use, and it's showing up really strong. Now Now let's look at our palette and think about concepts. Lots of earthy colors with just a couple of punchy colors. I'm thinking I'm gonna have to go in the direction of a landscape, obviously something a little sort of, what's the word, figurative, a little non-naturalistic, a little surrealist. And if it's weird or awful enough, we can call it abstract. Okay, the time has come, ladies and gentlemen, for me to dive in deep into the pool of expensive saturation and Copic ink. And the hope is that I will swim through and come out on the other end with an artwork worthy of being proud of. It's unlikely, but I'm gonna try. So before jumping into creating the piece itself, I decided to experiment just a little bit more with how to apply the actual ink to the paper. With it being alcohol based, it dries really quickly on the page and soaks up really quickly. And so in order to cover larger areas with any sort of smoothness, I would need to really quickly splodge it down and spread it fast with my whole hand. So I attempted to do this with the sky and it looked interesting. I figured with, I don't know, maybe a little bit of detail added later or some objects in the sky, I could try and smooth it out a bit. Moving on to the landscape, I feel like I got a pretty cool texture going on with the mountains and with some of the shadows and highlights, and tried to create a bit of an otherworldly aesthetic, sort of like colony or giant city in a strange space-like planet thing with a hint of a fantasy atmosphere to it. As you can see, it was pretty bloody hard to get any sort of detail or refined aesthetic working with just the tubes in my hands. This stuff sort of really spread, it bled very quickly, and it dried very quickly. There was no way to create any sort of detail. It just came out fast, no matter what angle I held it at. I tried to come up with a few little methods, one of which was to pour the ink into a cup and use the lid of the container to draw in some detail. It wasn't perfect, but it was a little closer to some semblance of detail and definition. But as the piece went on, I felt more and more that there was just so much missing. There was too much white, and it really wasn't getting the otherworldly aesthetic I needed. I really had to have more color, and this meant using a lot more ink, which hurt my soul, and I tried really hard to not fear ruining the piece and to try and be brave, which I recommend people to do when they're especially trying new things, to try and get cool results. But at the end, I really feel like this was just one massive step towards ruining the piece. I don't think it was going anywhere great fast, but I think just throwing in a whole bunch of ink to try and shift the aesthetic really just put a bit of a nail in what I felt like was the coffin of the artwork coming together. I am throwing in the black rubber gloves on this one. I am not liking how this looks. I'm not liking how it feels to make, and I am not liking the feeling that, well, the knowledge that I'm not going to be happy with the outcome of this if I persisted with it. That being said, I like the color mix and all that stuff, but the application of not using anything other than my hands and these things, I tried. My God, I tried. This is a really irresponsible use of Copic ink. I hope you can appreciate the ambition. I couldn't do it in a way that I would be happy with and that I feel like would be worth your time, but I'm not giving up. I'm just giving up on doing it this big and without any form of application. Oh my God, look how much it bleeds. This is so much ink. This is such a waste. Oh, it hurts my soul. I'm gonna use the failed artwork as a soak underneath what will be my next attempt on a smaller piece of paper. I'm gonna use brushes and I'm going to use a palette. And something else I hadn't actually realized is I also own a bottle of colorless blender various ink. You could use it with colors to dilute the intensity of the saturation and create maybe some textured effects and stuff. So I'm going to approach this a little more like a watercolor painting this time. Again, I like the colors, the theme, and the concept of my first attempt. This time we're going to go a little more refined, take it slower, layer things up in a way that I feel is going to be more beneficial to the medium. I'm not going to waste as much ink because I'm working smaller, and I'll be able to do more accurately because of the brushes, and hopefully this time I'll have something I can be proud of and that you guys will enjoy. It's time for attempt 2, and I'm really hoping this one works. Now, before revealing the final piece, I thought I'd go back to this doozy because I feel like you need a reminder. It's the fact that I attempted, though horribly, to paint without any support other than just using these things in my gloved hands. Didn't turn out to be quite the vision of what I had in my head with the colors, but it is a testament to the sacrifice I'm willing to make to try and do something. The amount of ink I used is a little sad. Anyways, what I actually had in my head was this, and this is the finished result of my challenge. Yes, I used brushes, but I painted only with various inks, and it does capture what I had in my head, especially with the colors I had to work with. I guess when all is said and done though, it comes back to that question I opened up with that I asked myself, can you paint with these things? I wouldn't recommend it. But you know what I would recommend? The sponsor of this video, Audible. I just finished book 4 in the Lightbringer series. Really frustrating cliffhanger, but so satisfying and so cool. I can't wait till the next book comes out. Remember to grab your free audiobook and 30-day free trial by going to audible.com/Jazza or texting Jazza to 500 and claim your Audible offer today. I can't recommend Audible enough. I say that a lot, but that's because I can't recommend them enough. I love Audible and know that you guys will too. You can listen to Audible and great audiobooks by great authors and voice actors and narrators who tell these great stories while you're on the go, while you're creating artworks, while you're at the gym or doing something where you can just let your mind carry you away to wonderful places like I've experienced this afternoon. So a huge thank you to Audible, of course, for sponsoring this video, and my recommendation is for you to check them out. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and the final result of my attempted challenge. Leave your suggestions for future challenges in the comment section below. Like this video and subscribe to Draw with Jazza for more fun with art. Thank you for watching, and until next time, I'll see you later. Make sure to subscribe to my channel to see more of my videos. And while you're at it, check out my shop where I sell ebooks, brushes, photo references, video courses, and more. There's another video you might enjoy from my channel over there, and you can also check out my behind the scenes daily vlog channel, Daily Jazza. That's it for now, and until next time, I'll see you later.